God knows the beginning, and God knows all things. And it says in Isaiah 46, verse 9 and 10, remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. Declaring, notice this, declaring the end from the beginning, from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done. Notice that he's declaring from the past things that are not yet done. Saying, my counsel I shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Let me read that again. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do pleasure. God knows. Okay, the next one we're going to take a look at here is God's omnipresent. God is omnipresent. Right. Omnipresent means that he is everywhere. God is everywhere. There is no place where God is not. A little boy got on a little boy was sitting on a train once, and a man got on the train and he saw the little boy reading the Bible, and the man was an atheist. And the man was sitting there eating, and the boy was eating an apple, and the atheist looked at the boy and said, I'll give you an apple if you can tell me where God is. And the little boy looked at the atheist and said, I'll give you a whole barrel of apples if you can tell me where he's not.
That means everywhere.
Because God is everywhere. Thank God. That's wonderful. If I pray for God to heal somebody in Nigeria, God doesn't have to get a ticket on Virgin and fly out there. The God that I pray to here to touch somebody out there is already there. There is no place where God is not. Okay, I need to give you a definition of the attributes of God, of God's omnipresence. And that is simply this. The attribute of God by which he fills the universe in all its part and is present everywhere at once, not in part, but the whole of God is present in every place. This is also true of the three members of the Trinity. They are closely related, that one is to the other also. In other words, wherever God is, he is fully there. I mean, I could hold up my hand up here and say, I'm here, and I'm down there at the same time. But there are things that I can do with my hand that I can't do with my feet. There are things that I could do up here I can't do down there. But you see, wherever God is, now I can't explain this, we just have to accept it. God is fully everywhere. And wherever God is, his power is fully there. So wherever God is, his miracle power is there. His healing power is there. His delivering power is there. Because God is fully in everywhere. God is fully everywhere, and his power is not limited in any one place. In other words, God is not more powerful in Ghana than he is in England. Because even though I am preaching here right now, there is somebody in Nigeria, and they've got the same time as we've got there, would be preaching. And the same God that is blessing us will bless them. Because the God that is fully here in every sense is fully there in every sense. And there is no place where God is limited, even though he is everywhere. Which simply means, it means this. Therefore, when a man is sinning, God is there. He sees all, he knows all. There is no place that man can go and hide from God. We can hide from our pastors, we can hide from our, we can make excuses and pretend we're not there, but God is everywhere. I remember when my younger brother Gary was a little boy, a young lad, someone came to the house and my mother didn't want to see him, see the man. So she sent my brother to the door and said, "Tell him I'm not there." So my brother, who was a young lad, went to the door and said, "Mummy said she's not here." And the man got around and said, what time will Mum be in?" "I don't know." "Mum, what time will you be in?" Well, we can make excuses and pretend, but we cannot hide anything from God. God knows all about us. Let me give you some scriptures. Psalms 139 verse 8. If I ascend into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Somebody once said to me, "Is God in hell?" Yes, he is in hell. He's everywhere. There's no place that God is not. Now, just because God is everywhere, it doesn't mean that he approves of everything. In other words, if you go to a brothel, God's there. It doesn't mean he likes it. It doesn't mean he likes it there, but he's there. He knows all things. And the psalmist said, if I go to heaven, God is there. And if I go to hell, God is there. There's no place where God is not. Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 23 to 24. Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 23 to 24. Am I a God at hand, saith the Lord? Am not a God afar off? Can any hide himself in a secret place, and I shall not see him? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord? We're taking a look at scriptures here to prove that God is everywhere. 1 Kings 8, 27. 1 Kings 8:27. But will God indeed dwell in the earth? Behold, the heavens of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have builded. Matthew 6 verse 9. After this manner, pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So we know that God is in heaven, God is in the building. They cannot contain him, but God is fully there. Heaven is his throne, earth is his footstool.